Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the Texas Children's Houston Open 2025 betting preview. Our boy Matt Every will be joining us very soon. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry with me. Coming off the Valspar, Viktor Hovland coming out of nowhere. We're going to talk all things Memorial Park and this Houston event here in a little bit with our outright bets and some top 20s, some good stuff, some good course intel from Matt. But let's recap the Valspar because, golly, I mean, Viktor Hovland, 80-1, without his best stuff, he says, feeling lost, he says, doesn't know where it came from, wins a golf tournament over poor little old JT again, who just can't seem to get it all the way across the line. What do you think, Pat? Did you watch any of it over the weekend, or thoughts on Hovland?
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of it. Look, I have been on JT also. I didn't have him last week, but his game seems to be coming around to where he wants it to be. I know in his post-round interview, he said he was pretty, he felt like he was good. He was close and just didn't win it. But Viktor, to me, is the more, it's kind of the strange thing. It makes you kind of wonder, like, look, when we got a guy like Viktor Hovland in a field like this at 80-1, it sort of just feels like you might kind of need to try and think about it a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like we used to talk about Brooks Koepka in this way sometimes. Like we would always we'd get him at long odds, and then he would just win a golf tournament, and you'd be like, why was I so stupid not to take Brooks Koepka at long odds? And I'll say this, DB, I bet you didn't know this. I've been buying shares of Viktor for the Masters. I've been buying shares, and I haven't wanted to say anything.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's real.
It's true. It's real. And I haven't wanted to say anything because I feel like it's been a little bit stupid. But now I'm not feeling so stupid. So
okay, but let me ask you this: do we what do you think? Because in one way, it is crazy that he won. I mean, those shots he hit on 16 and 17 were unreal good.
Yeah.
I mean, vintage Hovland. But he also hit some really bad chip shots. He chunked a bunker shot. He chunked a shot, I think he said on 18. He kind of hit it a little bad. So the around the green play, still whatever. He's still jumping coaches. We heard a couple weeks ago he was on the back of the range in Orlando at Bay Hill, I believe, working with a new coach, and I think he confirmed that this week. We know Viktor. It also wouldn't shock me if, right before Augusta, Viktor's like, oh yeah, get out of here. I need a different coach. I'm going to do something else to self-sabotage. But what if he, you know what I mean? We're not going to see him again till Augusta. What if he we've all had those days where they're few and far between. If you play golf long enough, where you don't feel right and it shows, and you're terrible. And then sometimes though, isn't it true that you've had those rounds where you just hit the ball well and you don't know why, and you don't know, nothing changed from the round before where you were lost. You just, and I know we're comparing our game to somebody who's just so much better than us, but I have had those days where I'm like, why do I feel like the ball's just going to go wherever I want it to go? And I don't understand it. I don't know why, and I can't replicate it the next round. And so it does, as open and honest as he is, which I love and appreciate, it does make me wonder, what if he is still lost in there and it just worked out for 4 days?
I mean, I think that could be entirely true. I do think with the way these players are as good as they are, that you still have to have found at least something to win a PGA Tour event. I mean, we always talk about how tough it is to win a PGA Tour event. And Viktor has been struggling all year, and all of a sudden he actually wins one when you've got guys, the field we're about to talk about here at the Texas Children's Houston Open, which is more of a mouthful than I thought it would be, TV.
It's a lot.
But, there's a lot of guys who've never won, and he's won a few times for sure. And look, we've seen signs of it this year from Viktor. I think he had a good first round, was it at Pebble Beach. He's had some good rounds, and then he just hasn't been able to put it all together. So now, look, I'm not saying that for the Masters we go all in now that he's down to 25-1 or 30-1 on some books, but he was worth a look as a top player in the world when he was in that kind of 50 to 60 to 1 number, and everybody, especially 80 to 1.
Yeah, 80 does seem, yeah, but he just seems so lost. Speaking of struggle, I'm going to confess, and this is part of the value of SoBet is transparency. I've been struggling a little bit with the picks the last few weeks. We're slowly bleeding away our nice units that we built up this year. I'm up like 9.5 units on the year still. And we've had some good sweats. I mean, last week we were profitable in the top 40 market, but we lost money for the first week all year in the head-to-head matchup market. So we're giving away exclusive bets, exclusive picks on SoBet every week. And what I love about SoBet is you get transparency from all the handicappers. Over 100 plus handicappers. There's a leaderboard you can look at every single day to see who's hot, who's not. You understand who's betting who and why, and all the units behind it and the logic behind it. All the above is on SoBet. You can click the link in the description. Code TJ2025 should pre-fill to get you $1 for that first month. So check it out. You can cancel at any time, but you're not going to want to. March Madness is hot and heavy. The Sweet 16 is going on now. Baseball season is going to be fired up. And when baseball season is going and there's games every single day, the SoBet team just cleans up. So, even if you don't like baseball, which I'm a huge baseball guy now this year.
This is a flip.
Yeah,
you flip big time.
Yeah. Even if you don't like baseball, you can just get in there and win money. So check that out. You know what else I want to say about Viktor? I alluded to this. I loved his post-round presser. I loved how candid he was. Actually, it was a couple times this week, even before he won. He was talking about how he was kind of in the wilderness. I love his candor. I love his personality. I just love that guy. I love when he's playing good golf. And you know what it made me think today as I was driving in my car, listening to his interviews and stuff, is I hate Collin Morikawa.
Yeah.
That guy is a twerp. People don't say that word anymore.
That's a good word, though.
He is I don't like him. And it's like when you see a guy like Hovland in contrast to Morikawa a couple weeks ago, looking at the cameras and saying, I don't owe you guys anything. I don't know anything. It just irks me even more for Collin Morikawa. And yeah, so I don't know why. He has nothing to do with this. He's taken a glancing blow from the Valspar from me. Not that he cares. He's doing fine. But it brought me back. I flashed back. I just finished watching the new Full Swing series on Netflix that came out this year. It brought me back to that first episode we all saw a couple years ago of Full Swing when he was in the boardroom with Adidas. Do you remember this? We talked about this, I think.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
And I saw that scene and I went, I don't like that. There's something about that is off to me. Very off-putting, very kind of just egotistical and narcissistic and kind of a jackass thing to say, the way he talked to the people about the colors he was wearing and they were picking out for him. It just rubbed me wrong then. And ever since then, I've just kind of been coasting in my, do I like Morikawa? Do I not? And now I think I'm out. He comes into the PGA Tour class with Viktor Hovland. I'm out. Screw you, Collin Morikawa. Now,
I think I'm kind of out too.
I might still be betting him for the Masters, but
yeah. By the way, so did Viktor really say he was in the wilderness? Is that what did he use that word? Like, what kind of wilderness was it? Like the Disney wilderness?
I don't know, but
I don't know if I've ever been in that kind of wilderness with my golf game.
It was a very thin layered forest. He was able to see through to the light.
Yeah.
Morikawa. Also, I love the Viktor Hovland. You know what, Pat? Speaking of guys who are being twerps, you are. I actually have two. I have two bones to pick with you, and the first one I'll say is related to Viktor. You are not being a man that pays off your bets, and you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
If you could get in front of Viktor Hovland, you could say, Vic, who's some of your favorite scream bands? Because he's a huge scream band heavy metal fan. This is well documented. Right. And I love that.
I admit, I'm not going
to be going to a concert and you're not there. You're not.
I don't know if that's twerpy behavior though.
It is. It's kind of twerpy.
Okay, well, we'll decide on that. But what's the other thing you said?
I think people in the comments should let us know if they think this is twerpy behavior or not. So like, subscribe, hit the comments, and let us know. The other bone that I have to pick is I'm looking at the leaderboard yesterday, trying to make sure, make sure my guys are finishing in the placement bets on SoBet. And also checking out my top 26 pack from last week, which did quite nicely. Hit Corey Connors at plus 120. Hit Henrik Norlander at plus 550. Yeah. Shout out Henrik. Shout out a couple of Champions Retreat members. Guys playing out of Champions. Yeah. Henrik and not Luke List, but Steven Fisk is a Champions Retreat guy. Yeah. Practices out of Champions. He was in my top 40s. But I'm looking down the leaderboard, and I don't have to go very far to see a name on the leaderboard. And it's a name that, we saw it got a lot of attention the week before at the Players. And I'm like, what are we doing, Pat? This has been a tremendous start to 2025 and a much needed start to 2025 for one Bud Cowley.
I know.
What the hell am I doing? You glazed him, as the kids say. You glazed for years on this podcast. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Just glazing Cawley. That sounds like a Hallmark movie. Glazing Cawley. Mm-hmm. Just glazing Cawley every week. The guy finishes damn T6 at the Players. We hear nothing. We hear nothing from you. And then a T4 at the Valspar.
I really don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I can't. I don't know what to say for myself.
There's really no excuse.
No, like I should be in the principal's office for this.
Yeah, you're getting a spanking. Did you ever get a spanking? Did you ever get a spanking?
Yeah, did you?
No, they didn't spank at my school.
Oh, not at school. I thought you meant by like your parents.
Yeah, my dad beat my ass. Yeah, I'm talking about at school.
No, I never got a school spanking. I don't think they. I think I'm just barely young enough to be, after the Mendoza line of spankings in school.
Didn't you go to school in like the Red Barn or something? That was a single room school with the.
No, my high school did have wooden desks though. Not kidding.
I had wooden desks in middle school.
The old school wooden desks, because those are really old high school.
Yeah. Oh shoot, what was I gonna say? What was the most? The most evil spanking utensil my dad ever used on me? Dude, think about this. You're gonna be like, whoa, this is awful stuff. The little fiberglass, like plastic clear thing that you use on blinds to open and close the blinds.
Oh my goodness, that would hurt.
And it's got like a little bend to it. Oh my gosh. Love you, Dad. I do love you though.
Shout out, Dad.
Maybe to the man I am today.
Yeah.
Anyway, shame on you for the Bud Cawley thing. I don't know when we're going to see Bud next. I'm surprised we're not seeing him this week, but shame on you for that. And I expect you to do better.
Okay. Well,
so I wanted to get on to you for those two things. What else?
Is he in the Masters yet?
Surely not.
What? No, there's no way. We should look though at the top 50 heading into this event, because they still put the top 50 going into the.
That's true. Let me pull it up.
It's next week. I'd be interested to know.
I know Michael Kim's still. Michael Kim is 52. He put on X that he's extremely tired. His neck and back hurt, but he's got another week. So Tom Hoagie is 50. I don't know who's already in. So I'm just looking at the bubble here. Hoagie is 51. Ben Griffin 53. Michael Kim 52. Min Woo 55.
I feel like he's in.
Matt McCarty 56. Rasmus Højgaard 57. Cam Young. Can I say this? I've been on the Cam Young high horse for a long time, just because I don't trust the guy, and I've not lost.
Don't tell me now you feel sorry for him.
I've not lost dozens of units like a lot of you suckers have betting on Cam Young. Can I say this? I almost tweeted this, but I didn't want our agent to be like, DB, can you get the fuck off of Twitter and quit saying bad stuff about tour players and because I knew that would happen. I almost said on X, I hope he loses his card. I want Cam Young to lose his card. Like, I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm not saying that. He's probably a good husband. I think he's probably a good father. I get it. I am so sick of that guy. I hope he loses his card. I hope he goes to the Corn Ferry Tour. Now, then, if he goes to the Corn Ferry Tour and he finds himself, great. But get out of here. I'm so sick of looking at him. He shouldn't be in these fields. He's so overhyped. I'm done. He has no personality. He's got the personality of a cardboard box. I'm so over it. I want him gone.
He's going off of the what's 2 years ago when he finished second in all the majors or whatever it was. Like,
how?
yeah, I'm with you. I'm done. I'm done with it. And maybe I'll see him next year here in Savannah, DB, because the Corn Ferry Tour is. By the way, it's next week actually. Maybe next year he'll be playing.
Okay, I've got I've already picked 2 bones with you, Pat. I've got those out of the way. Bud Cauley and your lack of rock concert paying up your bets. But I've got another bone to pick. Well, really, it's not really. This is on behalf of the people.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do that, I do have to remind everybody that the Ryder Cup experience is going to be lit. We got to find out if our boy Matt Every, who's coming up on the show here in just a few minutes, is going to be at the Ryder Cup, because we're going to the Ryder Cup. And we want you to go to the Ryder Cup with our friends Elite Events and Tickets, taking care of everybody. They got the whole trip planned out. It's going to be awesome. Come to the Ryder Cup with me and Pat in September 25th through the 29th, New York, staying in Manhattan, going to Bethpage. We're going to kick it all off on Thursday night with a Yankees game. I think they're playing the White Sox. Then on Friday, we are playing golf, 27-hole Ryder Cup style tournament at a nice little Muni there in the city with a hot breakfast, some barbecue at the turn. It's going to be fun. Then on Saturday, you're going to come to the Ryder Cup, walk the grounds with me and Pat. Everybody, we're just going to be one big Tour Junkies family out there getting rowdy, having some fun at the Ryder Cup, giving it to the Euros. And hopefully not watching Cam Young play for US. I can't imagine that happening. But and then on Saturday night, we're going to go to a nice spot, a little private viewing experience to watch Georgia beat Alabama. It's going to be SEC football night. Pumped about that. Hotel accommodations are included. Transportation's included. You can see the 3-night or the 4-night package here. If you stay the extra night, you can come to the Ryder Cup again with me and Pat. Probably be a smaller group that day, but we're going to still take it on and be rowdy and bring it home with the boys. It's going to be a great night, great trip. Elite Events is awesome. They do great work. So check out the link in the description. And I will say this too: if you are able to, if you're able to come to some of it, but you can't do all of it, and you just want to get a piece of the action, if you fill out the form on the link in the description and just tell Elite Events what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish, they will take care of you. They will work with you. They always do. They're just they're great people. So Elite Events is awesome. They were our first sponsor on the Tour Junkies podcast back in 2016. Unbelievable. Here's the check from Elite Events in 2016, our first check. They're great folks. So
speaking of that, why didn't you make a duplicate check and give it to me to frame?
I'm sure, isn't that illegal or something? I don't know.
No, like a copy though,
Why would I do that? I earned the sponsorship. You didn't do anything to earn it.
I did. I'm on the show. I helped start the show.
Well, yeah, but that's minor. I went out and got the deal.
Okay. All right. Well,
you know what? I'll make you a copy when you go to the concert you're supposed to go to. All right. I guess let's bring him up. It's time to let Matt face the music. Hey, Matt.
What music am I facing?
Yeah.
Hey, first of all,
face the music.
In the corporate world, Matt, you would know this because we've all seen your template golf course. You wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
In the corporate world, they call it a compliment sandwich, right? I got to give you a compliment, then I'm going to slap you on the hand, then I'm going to give you another compliment. So your first compliment, the bread compliment part of the sandwich is you did a great job on the live from this week. I was listening a little bit. Great stuff as always. The people love you. You're doing great out there. I think you could tell. I think, and you could feel you're a little more comfy. You're getting comfy out there. I liked you being out on the grounds, right? It was just good.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, where are we going with this? Go ahead. Let's get to the show.
Matt, listen. We realize that you're in year one here. This is early stages of being a golf gambling guy, and we get it. There's things you got to learn. Pat, I mean, where would you rank this in the 10 commandments of golf betting? Like in terms of the importance of doing this or actually not doing this. It's
in the top 2. It's in the top.
It might be top 2. I'm trying to think about what would be number 1. This might be number 1. Tony, if you can pull up the evidence. This was a text from Matt on Sunday about his golden boy.
That's so good.
Boy, you got some explaining to do.
My dad always said, and you never.
I know. Hey, listen. I know I was not alone on that either.
You were not alone.
A lot of people.
A whole community of people that were on that. So.
But heavy is the head that wears the crown, Matt, because because of your mush, all those people missed out. Like the moments before Mr. Riley tees off, you cannot send this text. For those of you listening on the podcast, this is the text we got at 7:58 in the morning on Sunday from Matt. It's happening, boys. It's 7:58 on Sunday morning. It's happening
with a screenshot, which adds to it. Because if you throw the screenshot in there, it's just a double. It's double mush.
Yeah, and then I said, "Oh no, Matt, what have you done?" And he goes, "It's his." He doubles down. Respect to Matt though for doubling down. He goes, "It's his to lose. Everybody knows that."
I mean, there was a little bit of like joking in there. Come on, guys. But
if I could found the market,
let's settle down. I mean, I was having some fun with you on Sunday morning, is what I was doing.
If it had been minus 1,200 that Davis Riley would not win yesterday, I would have unloaded the clip after you sent that text. We've been doing this 10 years. You can call us superstitious or a little stitious. I'm telling you, you do that crap before that last putt drops, you are cooked.
Dude, I know. I'm
cooked.
I'm 41 years old. You think I don't know that? Like, I was just fucking with you. I mean, I was just having fun.
That's no good for the entertainment value of it, Matt. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would have been awesome if he won for sure.
It would have been. We'd have let you victory lap that one, Eddie won.
Yeah, for sure. No,
you have to bite your lip until that ball hits the bottom of the cup.
I know.
But you're right. It was a big squad ride because a lot of the internet had Davis Riley for good reason. And look, I will say this: you came on the show in January and was like, "Davis Riley's coming," and everybody's like,
"Yeah,
maybe Matt shouldn't be on the show." And then look at you.
No, I definitely probably shouldn't be on this show. I suck at this.
I never. I didn't come into the show tonight thinking we were going to have this much Davis Riley talk, but
we're not doing good either. Bud.
We haven't even look. Can we get into something else?
Yeah,
we need to at least remember to do the season long too. By the way,
yes. And what's the punishment?
We should do that. Who knows? We have to figure this out off camera because when we have this discussion on camera, it just prolongs the show. We have to decide this. We have to decide this.
Okay.
At some point this week, it has to be done. I love your hoodie. Is that a Live Forever golf hoodie?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That was the other side of the compliment sandwich there.
Okay.
All right, good.
Compliment the Gators.
Gators, that's right. That was close.
Yeah.
How
about 7 teams for the SEC? We don't need to go into that tangent, but everybody was hating on the SEC getting all these teams in, and they got a record 7 teams into the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and really maybe only 6 should have been there because Georgia. Are you talking about in the Sweet 16?
In the Sweet 16.
Yeah. In the whole tournament, it was more than that. Yeah, Georgia.
We'll gloss over that. Don't worry.
Matt, I will say this: I did one bracket, and I have Florida winning it all.
Oh, really?
And that's hard for me to do, but in basketball, it's a little easier.
I didn't do one this year, but I have Florida winning it all.
No, now they're not going to win.
Yeah, you've already missed that too. Why don't you send us a screenshot?
All right, let's get into. Did you ever play Memorial Park? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, it's newer,
Never.
Huh? Have you ever been there?
No.
Well, I was looking back on some stuff in the Discord, and I do remember getting a text from a caddy a couple of years ago that basically says, I don't remember the exact quote. Well, here it is right here. If a guy hits it under 300 yards off the tee this week, he has zero prayer. This is one of the biggest bomber advantage courses I've ever seen.
So like Mexico.
It says this course sucks. No character, dead flat. Can't tell where the fairway is without the picture yardage book.
I hate hearing that.
Greens are going to be firm and fast, closely mown runoffs everywhere. Greens won't be easy to hit. So, yes, scrambling is going to matter a lot, which is kind of how it's turned out. I think that was a text from a long time ago, like a few years ago, maybe the first year they had it.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we've tended to see the Bombers crush it here. We've seen scrambling a little more difficult. It does seem that since the move last year especially, Memorial Park's trying to lean into let's make this as much of an Augusta prep as possible to get some guys here, like Rory, for example. So there's overseed, there's tightly mown areas around the greens. They try to get them going fast. But yeah, I mean, do you have any other intel on the golf course? Or I mean, that does kind of suck to hear, doesn't it?
It does from a handicapping perspective, though. It probably doesn't suck. I mean, it narrows it down a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it helps. Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a ton of perspective this week, if I'm being honest. I know my buddy Tyson Alexander played well here one year, and if he has a week, like he bombs it, but it can get a little sideways. So I don't know if maybe you can get away with it off the tee. Like length is just everything here, no matter what, which it kind of sounds like it is. And then I don't know, maybe look at a guy with nice form.
Yeah. And I think can scramble a little bit too. I noticed in the bet the number model that came out this morning, chipping from the short grass from the fairway was a filter that they added in there. So
not one we normally see week in and week out. So.
Right.
Really?
Yep. Not one they normally add in there. So yeah, something there with the BTN model. My dog is going absolutely haywire downstairs. Sorry. Either something's happening. Maybe someone's hurting her. I don't know. Have you ever been to Houston, Matt?
I hate it.
It's one of the worst cities in the world.
All right, let's add to the list. We got Detroit and Houston.
Oh, stop. I've
never been
to Detroit. Make people fucking hate me, dude.
Tony, what do you think about that?
Yeah, what the hell, Matt?
I started it. Are you in Houston?
Wait, Houston.
Great shirt, by the way.
It's all right. There's not a lot going on there. It's a lot of concrete.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Just hot and concrete. Yeah.
Yep. I got a cool Houston story though. One year with me. We were sorry, I'm looking at the bet the number model right now. I've been running around today. Okay, so one year the ALCS was in Houston, like at the same time as the tournament. And the tournament had a box. It was like, when you registered, you could sign up to go to the game, but it kind of filled up real fast because the whole field can't get inside this this box. So it was either like Friday or Saturday night was game one, and I didn't go. Well, Sunday night was game two, and the next week was in Mexico, and there was a charter going Sunday night from Houston to Mexico. So everyone was getting on that to go down there. Well, I was not playing the next week. I wasn't playing the next week. So anyways, I go to the game, and I'm like the only myself and my buddy John Turcott, who caddies for Bo Hostler now. He went with me. We go up to this suite, like we are dialed in, and we're going up to this suite, and it's probably 30 minutes before our first pitch, and we walk up, and I run into my buddy Andrew Medley, who caddies for Lee Hodges now. He was caddying for Dom Bazzelli at the time, and Andrew and Dom are right there, and they like greet us right at the entrance to the suite, and Andrew's like he's like mumbling something to me, like he doesn't want to be heard, but he's like trying to tell me something. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, just tell me. And he's like, that's motherfucking Dave Chappelle right there. And it was us four and Dave Chappelle, Paul Wall, and Bun B in this like suite watching the game two of the ALCS. It was so sick, dude. We talked to him for most of the night. It was cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool night. That's by far my coolest memory in Houston.
That's a really good one. I think Paul Wall, Matt, we've done this segment before called Pat Reads Rap Lyrics, and we just pull really obscure rap songs and have Pat just read them as if he were. And I want to say Paul Wall's. I know Bubba Sparks. We did Miss New Booty from Bubba Sparks one time.
I know we did that one. Yeah, we did.
Did Paul Wall? Sometimes those two get confused, but we'll have to go back check the tape on that. All right. So that's Houston. Let's talk about our season-long bets. Let's get this going.
Yeah.
Let's make some selections, and we'll get Matt's picks and get out of here. I think Tony has the honors coming off the Players' big win. We did not make picks last week. We all completely forgot when Matt wasn't here. So, Tony, I think you're up first. You're muted.
Tony.
Come on, producer.
I was trying to fix my mic.
Clean it up.
I know it sounds echoey. Listen, Mush. Give me a sec. Yeah, Rory, got me big this week or a couple weeks ago. So I'm going back to the well, going with Rory.
Okay, that's no fun.
No, that's no fun at all.
Okay, Matt.
Man, so this is like my first look at this right now, guys, and you're telling me Aaron Rye is the third favorite this week?
Yeah, you
Is
want
that
him?
real? No,
Is he
but I
really?
mean,
Well,
I
just-
like
You can
like,
have him. You can have him. Just say the word.
I mean, fuck. This is tough. I mean, is it my go?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take Scotty. I mean,
Okay.
I was about to say, come on. I'm like, we don't need. Why are we?
Like,
What are we doing here?
if you were about to be like, all right, I guess I'll take him. I was about. Like, what is,
Jeez. You know who I'm going to take? I'm going to go with the course horse here a little bit. I'm feeling some Tony Finau.
Aaron Ryan.
oh, I like that.
I'll go with Tony Finau.
Who's gonna
All
win?
right, you got two picks.
Bud Collie.
Oh, I'm going right back. Okay, it's 150 to 1, right?
Wait, DB, did you pick?
No.
No.
No, but I'm on the end.
No, it's a horse. But DB, you haven't gone, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
right.
Oh, okay. My bad.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
So I got two picks.
Yeah. So
you have two picks.
DB would have two picks.
Okay. We only do this every week, so it's hard to remember.
It's easy.
I'm gonna go with the real course horse. Well, I guess he's not compared to Pat's. I'm gonna go with the course horse in good form. I am going to go Aaron Rye. I would never go Aaron Rye before Scotty Scheffler, as Matt seemingly had us all thinking he was going to do. But I'm going Aaron Rye to start. I like the consistency of Rye. He's not a bomber though. That's the only thing that scares me. For the big bomb, 150 to 1 or longer, I'm going with. I'm gonna ride my hot hand. I just cashed him in a nice top 40 last week. He's newly a member at my club, practicing out of Champions Retreat. I'm going with Stephen Fisk.
Oh,
Give me the Fisker.
what?
Give me the full Fisk.
All right, I will go. I'll go with second place finisher last year. He's missed a couple cuts in a row, but I'm going to go with Alejandro Tosti.
Ooh, I like that one.
250 to 1.
Jeez.
I'm gonna go with. It's 150 to 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I am gonna go with. Give me Pock Eater. Give me Augustus.
Okay.
Augustus Gloop.
I like it.
All right, I'll finish it off. Coming off a good week last week, I'm going with
Pisatuncie.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
right on the number.
Nice.
Wait, who'd you say?
Rio.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
You've never heard me pronounce
Yeah,
that?
I have. It just gets me
Okay.
every time.
It is so good.
Yeah.
Play it one more time, Tony. Hit it.
Pisatuncie.
Chunfier. Like
I
the
can't-
ladies' man.
Just dressing it up. All
All
right.
right, good stuff. All right, Matt. I mean, you said you haven't had a whole lot of opportunity.
Yeah,
to look here,
no.
so we won't hold you to anything.
Hopefully, I hit a winner in the Discord.
Yeah.
How have you guys been doing in the tournament? I've been killing it
In what?
in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, I haven't really been betting. Pat's probably been betting.
I've actually had 2 bets. I've won them both. And I've got one pool that's live. My finals are all SEC schools with Tennessee and Florida playing for the championship.
Wow.
Which could possibly happen.
Could happen. Yeah.
So,
Did Cooper Flag play both games already?
Yes, I
he's playing.
believe
Yeah, which is
he's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta get Matt a sharp numbers account. We gotta get Matt hooked up with sharp numbers. That's our go-to. If I was gonna bet NCAA basketball, I'd be going to sharp numbers. We'll hook you up. Same people that built BT in basketball.
Oh, really?
Mhm. Good stuff. All right, Matt. Well, we'll look for the picks in the Discord. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm working San Antonio the week after, and I love that place. Dialed in there.
Is that just like regular broadcast, or is that another bet? That's not another betting one, is it?
No, that's regular. Yeah. The next betting one, I believe, is Philly, the cricket club one. Yeah.
That'll be cool. Are
Yeah.
you
Doing
are you
that
gonna be
one.
on site for that one? Or are you gonna be
No, it's studio. It's all studio.
Gotcha.
Mhm. On site for San Antonio.
But even though you're on site, you're gonna try to join us on.
Yeah, I'll be there. I will be good for Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
All right, Matt. Everybody. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, guys. We'll see ya.
Notorious Davis Riley Stan and Musher.
Yeah.
So if you had a Davis Riley bet, you can toss a club out for Matt Every. Oh, I meant to ask him what he thought about all the temper tantrums this week. There was a lot of them. Matt. Oh, there he goes. Okay.
He almost came back.
You had Patton, you had Sahith, you had Jordan dropped a big old
I
F-bomb.
feel like this is a temper tantrum type course.
Yeah,
at, Copperhead there at Innisbrook.
It'll bite you.
Yeah.
Bite you. If a snake bites you, what are you going to do? You're going to not
you don't
say an F
pissed
word?
off. Yeah.
I know I would. What are we doing at the top, Pat? I mean, you got Scheffler, you got Rory, and then major drop off, as Matt Every just observed in real time in front of all of us, to Aaron Rai. Names at 30-1.
Look, here's what my I talked about this on the First Look show. By the way, Nut Hut Discord, get in there, do a First Look show every Monday and our Wednesday night chat. But in the First Look show this morning, I mean, look, the first thing you talk about is like, it doesn't excite me to play Scotty or Rory, but which one of those two do I think has a little more that they're going to be looking for this week? And it's obviously Scotty. He was struggling at the Players. He seemed incredibly frustrated with this game. So I think of the two, I would probably, if I'm going to bet one of them, I'd probably bet Scotty. I think Rory is certainly interested to be there. He's there for a reason, and he's playing great golf. But I do think Scotty, he finished second, really probably could have won or easily should have won this golf tournament last year. Not to discredit Jaeger, because Jaeger won the golf tournament, but I do think of the two, Scotty's got a little more to play for because he really is trying to get dialed in for the Masters, and Rory's just already there. Your thoughts on that first before we kind of get into the next range, which is basically the middle range, because it just jumps up to 28-1 from there. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely think that I definitely think you're right. Like Scotty has a little more that I'm sure he's showing up here wanting to make sure he's dialed in to do. But Rory's a far more attractive number. Obviously, it's 7-1, just as good as he's playing. And I would imagine he shows up here playing pretty free. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah,
hey, let me just keep doing what I've been doing. If I win, great. If I don't, it's all right. Like it's a full field golf tournament. But Scotty, I do feel like is going to come ready to go. And he's also played here, Rory really hasn't made an appearance here. So Scotty's proven to do really well. I think I can get the best of both worlds with a good number, the same slightly better number as Rory, and just parlay it with Houston -8.5 or something, or like a Houston, parlay with Scotty to beat who are they playing? Aren't they playing Purdue? It's like a money line, or a money line doesn't get you much, but money line and Scotty gets you almost a 5-1.
yeah,
whatever. That might make it a little better. Because it is really tough for me to look at this 30-1 bunch and want to bet that. I mean, I like Aaron Rai, but Aaron Rai 30-1, despite the great course history, despite the great form, he's not a great fit here. Other than, he's usually a good iron player, but I think there's some rain in the forecast, which might soften this place up a little bit. It's going to make it even more prone for bombers. That's not going to help Aaron Rai at all. There's not a lot of names in here I like. I mean, Tony Finau's not in great form. I don't want anything to do with that. Jason Day interests me a little bit at 35. So I might just kind of watch that and see what's up. I know he had to withdraw from the Players, but
yeah.
But he's been playing well otherwise. And I know he's played well at this golf course before, good around the greens. Irons have been solid. So, I mean, I'm going to watch the Jason Day number and maybe the wave, if there is a wave advantage. But I don't get real interested in anyone until I look at the defending champ, Steven Jaeger. Like 45-1 for Jaeger is enough to get me to bite. He beat Scotty Scheffler here last year. He's playing good golf. He's not been super consistent, but T6 in Mexico, a golf course as I'm reading off the quote to Matt, he's like, oh, it sounds like Mexico. Won here last year, T9 the year before. He did it. A lot of it was on the backs of short game, which has been his most consistent thing in the last few weeks has been short game. So I think Jaeger at 45-1 is probably one of the better values near the top. So that's really where I start. But I'm not super excited about a lot of these guys. Like, I don't know that I really want to commit a lot tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think I still do like Aaron Rye. I've had him on my car several times this year.
But he's won
He,
one time.
I know,
And he's
but the guy
and it's
just,
Scotty and Rory, and he's 28-1, 30-1. Like, that's the
yeah,
thing.
he was 30
Yeah.
to 1 earlier this morning, actually, when I was pulling the trigger on him. But
Yeah.
that's a huge difference between 28 to 1. But I do think if I just want to have some exposure to the top of the board, that's where I'm going to go. I think, I hate to say it, DB, but I'm going to have some Minwoo exposure. I do like Minwoo, 40 to 1.
I don't hate it. It doesn't get me going, but I don't
On
hate
a
it.
course like this, where you really
Yeah.
think about distance and all that kind of stuff, and can just absolutely just move it off the tee with whatever club's in his hand off the tee, I do like Minwoo Lee there.
Yeah.
But then Alex Smalley, who's really kind of hurt a lot of people that may have wanted to stay on that Smalley kind of train for DFS last week, and then for betting purposes last week, because he missed the cut, but he really was looking strong with 3 straight top 20 finishes heading into last week. And he's played well here with a T15 and a T4. And then he missed the cut last year. But when you look at kind of the scrambling aspect of it, like when you look at the bet the number model, and he's just a great scrambler in general. Although I feel like the players, they kept talking about how good he was around the greens, and every time I would see that, he wouldn't look good around the greens. So they kind of jinxed him a little bit there. But Smalley is very good. He's 8th in the field, by the way, in that fairway or chipping from the short stuff. Bet the number stat that we've got there. He's top 10 in the model, by the way. So I do like Smalley a little bit there at 55 to 1. And then after that, so after Rye, Lee, and Smalley, it goes straight up into the close to 3-digit range for me.
My next one is approaching there as well, and it's Jake Knapp. Going back to the Mexico comparison, talking about bombers, missed the cut at Valspar. I'm not super worried about it. I don't think Copperhead's a fantastic course for him, but he's elevated parts of his game that are going to be key here. When you look back at his form coming into Memorial last year, where he missed the cut, he was not putting and chipping well at all. He's definitely figured something out in the offseason as he started 2025. The putting and the chipping has gotten much better. It's not always there, but there's a lot more green if you're looking on Bet the Number. There's a lot more green in the last eight tournaments or so in those two departments. That's helpful, as well as the iron play. I mean, the iron play speaks for itself. Other than the Valspar 2 rounds, he's been extremely solid with the iron play. So I think he's kind of leveled up parts of his game to catch up with the ability to hit it off the tee the way he does. And he's just going to be able to send it here. So I think Knapp at 80, a PGA Tour winner, a guy who's been in the hunt, is another solid value in a field like this. Kevin Yu, I took a look at 90, but I don't know that I fully. I know he won the Sanderson Farms in the fall. His short game worries me a good bit. I mean, his ball striking is exceptionally good. And I know Jason Kokrak won here in the past and he can't chip, but I do think you're going to have to chip this week. I mean, the weather forecast is quite windy, so I don't know there's going to be any avoiding it this week. And that concerns me for you. So I just don't know that I can pull the trigger there. But the next one for me is the better twin, the twin that I took in our season-long draft, Nikolai Højgaard.
Yes.
I'm in on Nikolai at 90 to 1. Give me the ball striking, give me the distance, the long iron play. Chipping and putting's hit or miss, but I think the guy's a stud, and I think he's mispriced at 90 in a field like this. After that, I think I'm just gonna have to wait and see.
Well, I'll go ahead and get that one out of the way, because that was one of mine also, was the 90 to 1 Nikolai Højgaard. I do like that a lot for all the reasons that you said. By the way, little bonus here. I do like Dietrich also right next to Alex Smalley in that 55, 60 to 1 range. Obviously I hit him earlier this year when he won at Waste Management. Kind of feel like it took a few weeks off after that because he didn't have, missed a couple cuts in a row. But then last week, finished T22, shows up really well in the BTN model. He's 28th in that model. So I think that Dietrich could, he could continue his good play. He was second here last year. Also, there was a big tie for second. I think it was like 5 or 6 players behind Jaeger. So Dietrich is another one there. And then after Højgaard, DB, kind of your guy who withdrew from the players. And I can't remember what it was for, but he did play last week at Valspar and ended up, where did he end up last week? He was 22nd at the Valspar. Victor Perez.
Yep.
DB.
Perez.
I like Victor a lot. Another guy that shows up very well in the BTN model at 19th. He's 110-1, was 17th here last year. I think he's another one we should look at as more of a long shot play. That's it for me, DB. I don't really have anybody super, super long.
I don't either. I mean, producer Tony asked in the chat, is it maybe a live play week? Maybe. Or it might just be, we get closer to Thursday. We take a look at the weather. I mean, right now I'm seeing rain Thursday, rain Friday, wind really all week for the tournament. So I think that's going to make things play difficult. This place is really going to show some teeth, I think, if it's soft and windy. So we'll see how that starts to shape out. We'll see if tee times come out. I mean, last week, everyone and their mama thought that there was going to be some massive tee time advantage. There was not. So, we'll react accordingly, but maybe a live opportunity, or it may just be one of those, hey, I'm just going to save a half a unit or two, just to save it. Masters is coming. You're going to want to blow your wad, shoot your ropes for Masters, as the kids say. So, maybe you just do that. That might be the best thing to do. Top 20s, 6-pack, 2 locks, 1 bomb. I already mentioned I did really well last week. Hit 1 lock in Corey Connors. Hit my bomb plus 550. Henrik Nolander. Shout out, buddy. Thank you, Henrik. Good stuff there out of you. Pat, hit me with your locks and bomb.
All right, 2 locks. Well, 1 I'm going to go with Aaron Wright plus 115, and then I'm going to go with Jacob Bridgman, DB, plus 175. He's been playing well. He's been playing well lately. Bomb is going to be Matty Schmid plus 450.
I'm such a sucker for Matty Schmid.
T21 here last year. Had a top 20 at the Cognizant a couple weeks ago. He's 18th in the BTN model. Does pretty much everything well other than scrambling. Hopefully he doesn't have to worry about that this week. So I like Matty Schmid. I like Matty Schmid as the long shot plus 450.
I'm surprised you didn't mention another guy though. Well, I had Aaron Rye as a top 20 lock because it is the plus money lock. That's what we do. And, whatever, 3 top 20s in a row here every time he plays. So that's good. Plus 115. I agree with you there. And then Day at plus 140 for me is the other lock. Man, should I give a bonus bomb? Because I have 2 I really like here. And I wrote down the second one because I thought you were going to for sure give out. I'll give 2. I'll give a bonus bomb. Since I'm coming off a win, I'll give 2. I'm shocked you didn't say at 5-1 your boy Danny Walker.
Yeah, well, I did that last week, and I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of like Knapp. It's like not a great course for the kid. He swings it really fast, and when I'm looking at the few events he's played, he's done decent. I mean, Mexico T13, and he's gained strokes in more than half of his PGA Tour events around the green. The irons have been solid the last 2 weeks. Irons were even fine at Valspar. We know he's going to gain strokes off the tee here. So I think Danny Walker, he's getting limited opportunities. He's going to need to take advantage. 5-1 is good. And then I'm going to keep banging the drum for my boy Stephen Fisk. Fisk is 4-1. I like him a lot. He's another just absolute flusher. So a couple bonus bombs or 1 bonus bomb for the people. And that is your top 20 6-pack and locks. And that is it for us because we are going to do a DFS show for the next 3 weeks, including Masters. We're going to go do a DFS show. Check that out if you want some DFS content. It's Masters coming up. We know everybody's excited. There's a millie maker, a couple millie makers out in the lobby. So we're like, you know what? Let's run it back. Let's do a little throwback DFS show. So we're going to hit that on the separate channel on the podcast and YouTube, wherever you get it. Check it out. Going to talk some DraftKings. Thanks to Matt Every. Check out SoBet. Check out our friends at Bet the Number as well. The Ryder Cup, the Discord, all the good stuff. And let's have a week. Let's hit a winner this week. I'm ready to hit a winner. If it's not Scotty or Rory, let's do it. Bend over your
Yeah.
book. See ya. Out. Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.